It's mailbag time, and today's Bears mailbag is presented by Manscaped. Father's Day is almost here, Sunday. Get a last-minute gift at Manscaped. And hey, inside tip, if it's not shipped to you in time by Sunday, just pull the whole, Dad, I ordered it 2 weeks ago, but I guess things are slowed down due to COVID, and you'll be just fine. Manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20 to get 20% off all of the Manscaped products. Let's catch up on some Super Chats here. Cameron, I like what Jimmy Graham brings to the team with his leadership and his relationship with Cole Kmet, but does having him on the roster hurt Kmet's chances of blossoming into that tight end one spot? Big Kmet fan. A lot to unpack here. I don't think it hurts. If anything, it helps because Jimmy Graham's a guy that's a good resource, like you're saying there. He's a guy that's been a tight end one for over a decade now. I'd have to look at the exact numbers. He's been really good for a long time in this league, but is he taking a few opportunities from Kmet? Perhaps, but I wouldn't say he's hindering his development or his potential whatsoever. I would say, if anything, he's actually helping in that regard. Alex Ure, will Andy Dalton be a good backup quarterback long-term when Fields takes over? Do you think the Bears can keep Max? So I'll start with the first one here, Alex. 2 for the price of 1. That's smart super chatting. If he wants to, I think Andy Dalton can be a great backup, but I think he'll want to start, so he'll probably do what he did this past offseason, see if he can go be a stopgap starter somewhere. And then can the Bears keep Khalil Mack? Sure. He's under contract beyond this season. Will he get another contract? We'll see. I think it's a big year for him to see how much he produces. Our residence Lions fan, Don Burr, Detroit versus everybody, Chicago. Hey, Don Burr, if you want to keep giving me that stimmy, we will certainly put your name on screen. I definitely appreciate that, Don. Ronny Dobbs, should the Bears sign Josh Gordon? Oh, we got a Josh Gordon question today, huh? How do I put this plainly? I don't have interest in Josh Gordon. I don't even know what his standing with the NFL is at this point in time. I know that the NFL has loosened on its marijuana rules and regulations, but he's been suspended so many times. He hasn't been able to, follow the NFL rules. Seattle flirted with him for a few years. They cut him once again. I simply don't have interest in Gordon at this point in time. Like anyone else, hey, you want to try him out, see what he's got? Sure, I don't really have a problem. But in terms of, actually using him in some official role and, expecting him to be a big contributor, I don't think I've got much interest there. That's just my opinion. Could my mind be changed? Sure, but I would have to see it happen for my mind to change. But you decide. Should the Bears sign Josh Gordon? Type S for sign, type P for pass. I'm probably going to type my P for pass. I just don't have a ton of interest here. If you are going to sign him, it's got to be a non-guaranteed one-year deal. S for sign him, P for pass on him. Get your votes in when it comes to Josh Gordon. Now, the Perfect Package 4.0 has recently launched from Manscaped, and obviously it's headlined by the Lawnmower 4.0, and you can get it for less than $90 with promo code BEARS20. Usually it's almost $110. Right now it's $87.99 with our promo code. What does the Perfect Package come with? You get the Lawnmower 4.0. You get the ball deodorant, the ball toner, which also cleans things up downstairs, makes it smell good, especially after a workout or something like that. It also comes with the travel kit as well. Manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20 to get 20% off plus free shipping. It's a perfect Father's Day gift, which is almost here on Sunday, so take advantage. Manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20. That link will be in the comments in the description. Don't let your dad down on Father's Day. Tommie Gunn, even though we lost Kyle Fuller, I assume, how do you feel about our nasty front seven complementing the defensive backs? My take is Eddie Jackson gets at least 2 touchdowns. Well, he had 2 called back last year, so I do think he'll bounce back and play well again this year. I like the front seven. I think it's good. I think if Robert Quinn is at least solid instead of bad, that would be a huge boost. You guys know how I feel about Roquan Smith. Danny Trevathan played well down the stretch last year. Roquan is Roquan. You got Eddie Goldman back. Akeem Hicks is still good. Yeah, front seven's good. Bilal Nichols was good last year. So was Mario Edwards Jr. If Eddie Jackson and Tayshaun Gibson hold it down at safety, if corner is really your only question mark, then I think you can make it work if you are Chicago. Pump YT, will Elijah Wilkinson play right tackle? I mean, I think Jermaine Ifedi's your right tackle. The only scenario where Ifedi doesn't start at right tackle, or I should say two scenarios. Number one, you sign a veteran tackle to play left tackle because you don't think Tevin Jenkins can play there. You move him back to right, and you either kick Ifedi inside, which would move Daniels or Whitehair to center, and then Mustipher's your backup, or Ifedi comes your swing tackle at that point, and then maybe Wilkinson could play right tackle. But even in that scenario, Jenkins is probably playing right tackle. So I think he's a backup. I think he has a good chance of making the team. But to actually start, I don't really think that's going to be the case. Michael Lane, Bears, any word about who and or if the Bears are going to sign a veteran corner? I mean, the same names are still being floated out there as potential options. I mean, obviously Richard Sherman's still on the open market. Steven Nelson is still out there. I can't believe the Vikings got Bashaud Breeland for like $3 million. Will someone explain that to me? Like, he's been a good player the last 3 years, and he goes for nothing. I would have signed him for that price tag and then some. Brian Poole's a veteran nickel that's still out there. After that, it gets a little bit thin, but there's nothing new in terms of tangible information that would suggest Chicago's going to sign anyone. So we kind of are in wait-and-see mode. I think the Bears want to see, can Desmond Trufant play or not at this point? Who knows? Lowski, trade for Xavien Howard. Xavien Howard is holding out, I believe. I think we confirmed that. Is that correct? Yeah, that is correct. Wants a new deal. He costs a lot. Gilmore makes a little more sense just because last year of his deal, only $7.3 million against your cap if you trade for him. Xavien Howard, you're going to have to trade for him, which is going to cost at least a first, which you don't have next year. So you'd have to trade a 2023 first and more, and you're going to have to pay him like $20 million a year. Like, it's not going to happen. Matthew Burns, realistically, what do you think the Eagles would give up to take Nick Foles off the books? I don't care. Conditional seventh is fine for me. If you can clear that $4 million, you can go sign Steven Nelson and not feel worried about it. Like, you're good to go. So I think that going to get a guy or getting rid of Nick Foles off the books any way you can, even if you get nothing in return, like I would even send a seventh with Nick Foles just to get him off the books. That's how much I just don't think he's valuable now that you have Andy Dalton on your roster. So, if you can get anything for him, great. If you can just clear salary, that's perfectly fine with me. Get subscribed to Bears Now, youtube.com/Bears Now. We have daily videos just for you guys. And if you want to be a part of these mailbags, you got to join us every single Tuesday, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central Time. We go live. We answer your questions, your super chats, all of that good stuff. And we're going to continue to do that here on Chicago Bears Now. So subscribe. Don't miss any of our coverage. And, hey, before you know it, the season will be here, and we'll do some live watch parties as well. Risser Gaming, Allen Robinson will become a top 5 wide receiver by the end of the season. I mean, if you look at the advanced metrics, he's fringe top 5 right now. The last 2 years, he's right there. And that's with bad quarterback play. So he's for sure top 10. He's borderline top 5. Would I put him in my top 5? Yeah, I don't know. Probably like top 7 for me. But he's excellent. He's a number 1. I think if Fields is the real deal, then people are going to really see Allen Robinson show how good he actually is. Tambor The Lambor, how many passing yards do you think that Andy Dalton and Justin Fields will get this season? If you mean like each, like one versus the other, oh gosh. I'll guess that Fields ends up with more than Dalton. Let's say Dalton starts 6 games, Fields starts 11. I'll say Fields throws for like 2,600. Dalton throws for like, 1,500, and there you go. They're just over 4,000 combined over a 17-game season. And that kind of answers the question that way as well. Combined passing yards, 17 games. This team should be better throwing the football. 4,000 to 4,200, that's not unreasonable, even though the Bears have never had a 4,000-yard passer in their franchise's history, but the extra game should help. Pat Rick, how much would we have to pay Allen Robinson? Probably about $20 million per year. That's what I think. I don't think he's asking for 25, even though people have speculated that. I think 20, 21 per year on a 4 or 5 year deal would get it done. Give him $60 million guaranteed. You give him the Amari Cooper contract, 5 years, $100 million, $60 guaranteed. You probably have this done 6 months ago, but that has not happened. So here we are. Who should start? Type AD for Andy Dalton. Type JF for Justin Fields. Get your votes in on this one. This continues to be a hot topic. Andy Dalton, from Matt Nagy, is the starter, which that's not new information, by the way. AD or JF, get your votes in on this one. Who should be the Bears' starting quarterback? Appreciate you guys for answering that one. A couple more questions here. See one from Adam White. Tom Downey has Minnesota winning the division if Rodgers is gone. Thoughts? I think it still comes down to the two matchups late in the year. Yeah, so the Bears play Minnesota week 15 and 18, I believe, and Tom's just he's fist pumping there. He's honored that he's on the show today. I do think it comes down to Chicago and Minnesota. Like if Rodgers is out, I think the Packers will still be competitive, but I think Jordan Love sucks personally. He'll have to prove me wrong otherwise. I think it comes down to Chicago, Minnesota, and like you're saying, probably in those two matchups late in the year. I think like 10-7 probably wins this division if Aaron Rodgers is no longer in it. John Mackle, what does it take for the Bears to get Richard Sherman? Money. I don't know how much. He says he wants to play for a contender for 2 or 3 more years and to retire. Does he view Chicago as a contender? Maybe. Maybe not. I think they're more of a 2022 contender, whereas this year, be competitive with Dalton, get Fields in there when he's ready, and then take that momentum into 2022. I think that's kind of the game plan because the Bears will have more cap space next year as well. We'll see. I mean, I'm obviously interested in Sherman. I think he would help, but I think he could probably latch on to a team that's got a better chance to win a Super Bowl this year, not necessarily in a year or two. Jessup, trade for Denzel Ward. I mean, sure, but why would Cleveland do that? Cleveland, speaking of Super Bowl contenders, I mean, if Baker Mayfield takes another step this year, they're right there. I mean, the Browns can contend. They have a great roster. I don't see them trading Denzel Ward. Sure, I'd be interested, but he's going to cost a lot of money. Christopher Cihak, if Jake Butt makes the roster because he worked out today, today being Tuesday, how much money for you to buy a Jake Butt jersey? Would Jake Butt jerseys even be available? Yeah, they'd be available. If we get a $100 super chat on this show and Jake Butt makes the roster, we will buy a Jake Butt jersey. That seems fair, right? If we get a $100 super on the show, Jake Butt makes the roster. I'm getting messaged here. I'm being told we'll get his college jersey. A Jake Butt Michigan jersey. Does it say Butt on the back? Okay, it says Butt on the back. $100 super chat on today's live show. If Jake Butt makes the roster, I'll get a Jake Butt Michigan jersey and I'll wear it next on a future live show. Deal? I think that's pretty fair. $100 super chat, and we will make that happen.